Hey Sagittarius, welcome to my channel. Happy New Year, guys. It's January, and January this time of year, like I'm actually recording in December, the last week of December, and it's the best time of year. Collectively, absolutely everybody is thinking of the year that they've had and the goals that they want to achieve for next year. It's all about, new me, that kind of vibe. And with everybody thinking that kind of energy, everyone collectively harnessing, it really is a great time to be harnessing this and use it as a tool to really kickstart whatever it is that you are desiring, wanting in your life during this time. So loving that. I'm just going to budge these up a little bit. We also have 3 planets retrograding during this time. So typically the first 2 weeks of January, it's all about kind of reflecting and not really taking action. We have Mercury retrograding, which again, it's usually best to not take action unless it kind of, is something you have to do in that moment. But I feel like this one specifically, it's more about not really taking action or reacting, and just more experiencing. Observing, right? I am using, by the way, my main deck that I'm using is the Lucy Cavendish Shapeshifter deck. It is one of my favorites. I'm also using her Hidden Worlds Oracle as well as the keywords, and I'm using the Your Light Oracle as keywords as well. So as you know, if you follow me, I go by what I'm drawn to. So before we start doing these readings, I'll go stand in front of all my cards and be like, and which one am I drawn to, and what comes out comes out. The same way for my layouts. There's really no rule to what I'm going to do, and I don't know until I'm sitting down and doing that very first video to what I'm like. I just don't know. I like to go with what I'm drawn to. I like the magic of really trusting in the cards and trusting in my guides, that they will guide me in the best way to help whoever is watching. So, let's see, Sagittarius. Let's see. You have the mermaid and the turtle woman. An elder will teach you. I'm loving it. She's so pretty. Okay, I feel like there's someone you should trust during this time. Trust that they come with wise words. I kind of think like a mum as well. I'm getting that kind of mum vibe, Sagittarius, that maybe they're supporting you during this time. Maybe have something that could benefit. As I'm saying this, I get this sense of like, when you lean on someone for advice and they don't, like, you get this sense of like, they just don't understand. The thing is, like, sometimes people do understand. It's just that we are not wanting to hear what they have to say. Perhaps it's not what we want to hear in that moment. And I kind of feel like, realize that if that's something for you. Sometimes we have Mars in retrograde at the moment, which means we're not very open to other people's opinions. We're not open to discussion that goes different from our own narrative, right? And there's a good reason for that. Like, we are being driven. Uranus is also retrograding, and we're driven towards freedom and independence with that, which means like it's all about self. But I do feel like maybe there's a woman in your life that's offering guidance. There's something there, so pay attention to that. I do feel as though it's a great time for learning. So if you are studying or thinking of taking up something, this is your time. It's energetically wise. It is a great time to start something new in a direction that's really authentic to you and your desires and goals and where you want to be. So definitely, if there's something like that, looking into that. Again, this isn't about actioning. It's about learning and taking inventory during this time. So definitely kind of seek your options. What feels right? The liminal dance, delicacy, fragility, and transience. I'm loving that. That sounds so cute. There's wisdom for you. It's like ancient wisdom as well. I feel as though whatever it is that you need to know more of during this time, it's kind of like it's something, it's like wise words. It's something that core down has deep value to you, is going to benefit you in a way. It's kind of like activating the cells of the wisdom of things that we have known in the past. Something that when I begin my spiritual journey, and something that I really kind of love and look towards, is our past lives. And this is giving me that kind of vibe of really activating something that is within your soul level, resonates with you, with who you are. And I really do feel like this year it's all about really opening up ourselves to that, to the reality of who we are as an essence, and going for things that resonate with us authentically, rather than what is expected, or what we expect on ourselves. I was talking to somebody yesterday, or the day before, Tuesday, I don't know what day I'm on, but I was speaking to someone on Tuesday, and she was saying, I was doing a reading for her, and she was saying something along the lines of like, oh well, until I'm 30, I don't really want to start looking for anything that's serious. I want to enjoy my life, and it made me realize, like, so many of us put deadlines on things that when we're going to allow ourselves to be open to something, that's so unnatural. It is very good to want to experience the good things before you settle down and stuff like that. Like, I'm not saying it isn't. However, like, to me, it feels so, like, strict, and putting yourself you're halting growth because you're not allowing things to just happen naturally. Like, by saying, I'm not going to settle down until I'm 30, means every kind of interaction and relationship you get into puts you already in this mindset that it's not serious, I'm just going to have fun. And I just think that if that's meant for you, it's meant for you. And I feel like, get out of your head, stop making boxes and ticking lists and things, and just experience life the way that you should. Obviously, I'm not saying that, that's not how your life's going to go. What I'm just saying is, like, expectations. Stop having these expectations of goals to reach, and more have, like, open-ended goals. There's never an end to anything. We don't just meet somebody and then our life is complete. There's nothing more, nothing less. You've met the love of your life and then that's it. You still exist within these relationships. You still are growing. You still change. And sometimes that person who is your person for 10 years is no longer going to be your person any further past that. It's served its purpose. The growth that you received within that is all that you needed. And, religion kind of put this aspect on us that you have to find something that stays with you forever, is solid. And we're not meant to be that. Nature is not ever grounded and solid. And I think I used this for a Capricorn reading, or one of the earth signs, of realizing, like, nothing ever stays the same. Change is a good thing. Everything evolves and grows and changes. And when we allow that expectation, when we allow that reality, things flow for us so much better. We receive so much abundance and just, like, fulfillment in life. None of us want to, and I think this is a massive fear for us, which is why we hold back. We're scared of getting to, like, 80 years old and looking back and thinking, I didn't live my life. And so many of us are not. We're really not. And it's scary. And I think, like, it's because you were so focused on ticking boxes that you didn't experience the things in life. I think when you're 80 and you've had many relationships, you've traveled, you've seen many things, then people are so interesting and fascinating, but we're so scared to live their lives, and yet they have so much to say. They have so much love in their heart because they've been open to experiences. So keep that in mind. And yeah, I'm not telling you to go and be reckless. Recklessness is not good, but taking actions and risks is not reckless. To me, it's reckless to not take risks, to not experience things. That is reckless. You're throwing away a life, an opportunity, opportunities, experiences, people. So keep that in mind. I just feel like I had to say that to you, Sagittarius. Oh, it's getting windy. I'm outside, as you can tell. This is why you can't, whatever. Woo! Don't fly away. We'll hold the cards. Okay, let me turn this around. Dinosaur friends. Childhood treasures resurface. Interesting that I'm talking about past tense of you, Sagittarius. It's all been about new and moving towards new things, but a lot of past is coming forward for you. I'm just going to see what this is paired with as well. Fill up your well, retreat, rest, and refuel. So as I said, the first 2 weeks of January is don't don't exert yourself. Don't do things you don't want to do. Don't be all social butterfly if you just feel like staying at home. In saying that, I do feel like there may be people from your past that's worth reconnecting with. With this dinosaur friends, I do feel like it might bring up either memories, and like I said in the beginning, I think with you about a mother sort of, bringing wise words. This could just be, talking about your childhood, and there being things there that you need to realize about yourself. Perhaps this is where there's wounds that need to heal. Just something about the past, bringing like little sparks that can, I want to say, help bring inspiration moving forward, actually. Perhaps you've been feeling stagnant and stuck for a while as well, and that can also make you feel a little bit restless, which means you'll be fighting the desire to rest and relax, whereas you're being, this time of year is about rest and relaxing, so keep that in mind. It's time to retreat. It's time to refuel. And I don't know if it's here for you. I can't really see what's underneath the cards because of how they're positioned. I'm not reading forward. I don't want to for you for some reason. I want to stay here. But it's like that alone card that may be here, may not be here for you, but it's been here for a couple of other signs. Realizing that sometimes we feel lonely and we think we're not supposed to be alone. But being alone is not lonely unless it's about perspective. Now 2023 to me, with this earth signs, I was getting this major vibe that this year is about perspective. Now we can focus on loss, we can focus on lack, we can focus on the things that went wrong for us last year, whenever you're reading this, watching this, sorry. And that's a perspective we keep ourselves in. It's a negative perspective. It's low vibing. We are not going to attract what we desire in our life that way. We are just going to keep attracting the same kind of cycles. However, perspective. If we see what we went through this year, last year, as things that have grown, has made us change. And this is what reflecting is all about. It's looking at something and reflecting and thinking, if that didn't happen, I wouldn't be one step closer to where I know I belong, to where I need to be. And I feel like belong is kind of a craving for a lot of us this year. Definitely is for me. I feel like it's a lifelong search for me to find a place that I belong. And I think that that's for many of us are seeking that, especially since like COVID has slowed the world down and we realize that we don't fit in. Like, I just think so many of us realize that the world that we've created as humans that's got us to this point in evolution doesn't fit us anymore. It doesn't fit our personalities. It feels wrong. It feels as though like nothing makes sense. Like laws make no sense. Religion makes no sense. Like nothing does. And it's because we've crafted something so like, what's the word I'm looking for? So superficial, really, that it doesn't resonate with us on a really real way, an authentic way. And this is what I'm seeing here. I feel like 2023, we're trying to find what does feel right for us, what does feel authentic. So yeah, something here is niggling at you to witness and experience. So 2 cards came out in this position. We have you belong. So that's just what I was just saying about you do belong here. And Elizabeth and the Lion. It's time to become a great leader. Now both of these cards, it's raised by wolves, and then we have Elizabeth and the Lion becoming a great leader. Both of these cards kind of resonate with the whole pack life of having a kind of a support system and realizing that you do belong among your people. At the same time of realizing that you have this natural ability to be a great leader in your life. And I think that's what we are realizing with with Uranus in retrograding in Taurus. It's all about things that have meaning to us, that are grounding, that are building long-lasting things in our lives, that bring comfort, luxury, so attracting our own abundance, our own prosperity. And so anything that is coming up for you that's sort of saying that you don't need this anymore to get you to that space, or you need more of this in your life to get to that space. So pay attention to that. You are naturally capable of making your choices. And as I say before in readings previously, if you do watch me and you have watched my previous readings, I say, realize that you are the most important person in your life story. You are literally in control of your life because you get to say yes or no to where you go, yes to what you put up with, no to what you won't put up with. So when you are in a situation for 2 years of your life where you feel now afterwards, I should have left there a year into that, 6 months into that, but I stayed for 2 years. This is you. You were in control. You could have, but you didn't. Now I do believe that there's a reason for that, and the reason is because now you're supposed to reflect on that and see what being in control of your life does and what not being in control of your life does. So for me, this is a major aspect of my life where I do realize I have given up control so many times in my life, and settled for what I have, because I was very grateful for what I had. But it just, it comes to these heads and massively where I cannot ignore it anymore. Something feels so wrong. It doesn't feel like it's authentic to me anymore. And I do battle with that because I sometimes think maybe that's the problem. Maybe it's in me. But I just think that naturally we're supposed to really trust in these notions that come to us when we get those flags. But we don't. We ignore them until it's too late. Things start going very, very wrong towards the end because we don't do it sooner. And that's the thing. That's why we're here reflecting on the past to make sure we don't make these same mistakes moving forward. The key word alongside this is kindred spirits, spirit companions, guides, and comfort. You definitely have a level of support with you, and I do think spiritually, for some reason as well, this at the moment, this energy in the air is very supportive and supported by the elements and by our spiritual community, our guides that we don't see, all of those little invisible helpers that we have in our lives that, we don't acknowledge. We are in this humanity where we've stopped acknowledging things that are outside of ourselves because it's easier. It's easier to think that things just happen in a bad way and we just have to put up with it, right? It's not true. We're surrounded by so many beautiful things in this world. And I feel like that is saying that you are so supported spiritually. And I feel like in your life as well that there's these people who are beings reincarnated that are surrounding you and supporting you during this moment, and you are one of them too. We are in an age where there are so many beings that are ancient, like we have been here for centuries, millennia, and we're living human lives and we're lost and we're confused and we're trying to work out why does this not feel right. There's many of us like that. You have that community, you have that soul tribe, and I think Sagittarius, it's time for you to rein in your tribe, to bring that into your circle and be open to that. Now, we have the beautiful rat. I love this card. Isn't she so pretty? Take care of yourself. This is birthing a new age is the key word. Birthing new creations, dreaming a new world into being. This is a very vulnerable time, and it's okay to feel down and sad during this time. I do think that when we reflect, it brings up wounds and emotions. As I was telling you little things about belonging, I start getting tears in my eyes. Now this happens to me when I'm telling truth, specifically when I'm doing readings, or when I'm talking, voicing my truths. It brings tears to my eyes, and that's how I know that this really means something to me. This is real. This is what I need to realize, accept, or whatever it is, So take care of yourself and understand you're vulnerable for a reason. You're a beautiful, sensitive, vulnerable being, and you're creating new things. When anything comes into being, think of a newborn baby. When a baby is born, the first thing that they do really take a breath and cry. It's very overwhelming. So when we are creating anything new in our life, when we're taking risks that are good for ourselves, it's emotional, it's scary. When I got on when I was coming to Australia and I was coming to get on the plane and taking that leap, I didn't know where I was going at all. I was coming to Australia. I had no really real vision of what was going to happen. I just knew I had to get here, and then, it would come to me. I met my husband and I had children, and that is something in my life during that time that I wanted and I didn't think was capable for me for another 5 to 10 years. I just was seeing that and thinking that's it. I'm not going to have this now for a long time. I'd come out of a long relationship and I was in that frame of mind. What I'm saying is I was so sad but with overwhelmness, but excited because something new was happening. I knew it was going to be good. I knew good things were coming. I just couldn't see what it was. And that's what this year is doing for us. We're not supposed to see. We're not supposed to really again, nothing ends. We're not supposed to see an end goal. We're supposed to enjoy the journey this time. It's about living in this moment and enjoying the way to wherever we're going. It is bringing abundance. It's bringing really great stuff for us. And that's definitely here. But this is not a time to be seeing that end goal. It's about time to really ignite the passion and begin that emotional journey of discovery. So down here, oh, it's so cute. Little Owlin. I think that is. Little Owlin. Wisdom as light as a feather. You have so much wisdom coming to you. This is really cool. Again, if you have the desire to learn on something, this is a really, really great time for that. You are being guided to seek knowledge and wisdom. It's come through several times for you. So definitely if you are toying with the idea of learning something new or enhancing a skill you already have, learning something more, maybe updating, go for that. Trust in your vibes. Yeah, sacred living, spirit speaking, intervention. Something definitely has to come into play. With this card, I get reaping. Reaping abundance and the rewards of putting in the effort here. So I feel like definitely putting the efforts. Something really about spirituality and meditating, taking time for you to go within and trust in yourself. I feel like this is something actually, Sagittarius, that you've been trying to get back to, but it's been taking its time. I can relate because I feel a little bit like that myself, but as I'm coming up to January, I can feel it growing in me, and I'm loving that. So I'm hoping that you are also feeling this as well, because this hasn't happened to me since the year I fell pregnant with my 2-year-old, that January, that New Year's. I haven't felt that since then, so it's like 3 years ago now. Of where I can feel my kind of spiritual healing. I can feel the excitedness of good things ahead of me. So that to me means like a lot. Like we need to use the foul language. Like I say fuck all the time and that anyway. So I feel like speak your truth, and that means saying words that other people might be a bit uncomfortable with. So it is what it is. I am who I am. And I feel like here this is it. It's finding that you are finding that it's coming back. It's your gifts are growing and you are finding that peace. But realize that when we are doing that, there's wiggle room. Again, dropping things and releasing things is uncomfortable. It's necessary. And because it's uncomfortable, a lot of us hold on to things for longer than we should. But that's okay, because we all go at our own pace. Nothing is supposed to be a race. It's literally an experience. And that's where the growth is, right? So remember that. But you are supported. There's definitely people guiding you, beings guiding you as well. Butterflies in gloom. After sadness, happiness and hope return. There you go. After the sadness, happiness and hope return. Things are getting better. Things are improving for you. And I'm just getting vulnerability. It feels very much like releasing. So when the new moon comes, obviously I love this time of year because we have 2 opportunities of New Year's resolution. So we get that second go because you have the Lunar New Year. And that's, to me, that is more impactful than this New Year. But globally right now, because everybody celebrates it as with our whatever calendar, and then all of a sudden we have Lunar New Year, and that's very astrologically powerful as well. So I feel like we get 2 chances at just making sure that our intentions are set, which means January is just a time for you to go through that trial period. So don't worry if you cannot stick to your goals that you've achieved through January. Remember, the first 2 weeks, it's about reflecting and relaxing anyway. It's not about going into action. So if you're trying to start with supplements and making yourself stronger and it doesn't work out for you so much because things pop up, it's fine. It doesn't matter. It does not signify that for this year things are not going to go well. Again, perspective. Allow yourself time to shift into a change. And allow yourself to feel the discomfort. Again, you're growing, you're changing. Starseed. What lights you up is paired with this. So I feel like you need to find something that brings joy and spark into your life. I do feel like something needs to be reignited and repassioned. Again, this is saying up here, something from the past needs to be tried again. So I would say that the vibe I'm getting with this Sagittarius is to not give up on something you used to do. If it's spiritually inclined, definitely 100% this is saying go for it, get back into it, because that is all popping up all through this about something spiritual and finding yourself. And again, I feel like, again, it's about feeling like you lost it and bringing that back. This could be where you need to, either do a course or reading something upon that area that just reignites that passion and spark, or maybe just reminds you of the process you went through to get into that space before. I do feel like this time as well, by saying that, you'll be more successful with that this time. You're in a space which is much more ready for that than it was before. I do feel like in the last 3 to 5 years, it's about putting your toes in the water to test out whether or not that was you. And it felt like it was. But then we had to drop certain things, so it had to come away from that again to come back in. I think many of us may be doing that this year, is reigniting that and getting back into it. Loving that. We have the fairy bee. My life is sweet. There you go. My life is sweet. This is reaping the rewards of your hard work. This is everything you've been through really coming together to reveal what happens when you put in the work. When you go through things. Temple of Dreams, Sacred Dreams, Prophecies, Dream Journeys. I do feel like there's insights that it's like you've imagined where you want to be and you dreamed where you want to be. And it's like this year is going to come into fruition. I do feel like this needs to be where you are focusing on. But at the same time, it's naturally going to be coming to you because this is what you have been working towards. This is where you're heading to. This does feel like enlightenment as well. We have sacred. You have a lot of spirituality through this reading. And it's like inner peace. And this is what I feel like you've been wanting. That inner peace, that inner drive towards just feeling comfortable in a lot of areas in your life. Something about taking the evenings to yourself. Maybe like in the sunset light. So sitting out in the evenings as the sun is setting is actually very good for you on a biological level. Something about the red lights, sunrise or sunset. I mean, if you're a morning person, do the opposite, but I'm feeling sunset with this card. Something about allowing that evening sunset kind of time to soothe you. That could be really beneficial to those of you who can incorporate that into your life. And maybe that being that time when you do spiritually connect in the way that is right for you. So again, your faith system on what feels right, whether that's meditation, whether that's doing tarot, like a personal reading, or any divinations, or also prayer, whatever it is that works for you, that feels right and connects to you on a soul level. That time frame could help. I feel as though that's going to bring you that inner peace that you need. This is like for now, like this is the step. So like for myself, getting under the moon during the moon phases or the stars and looking up to the stars and feeling like I'm at home, that gets me to that space. I feel as though this time of day could be your thing for some of you. So awesome. Lemuria, create heaven on earth. It's happening. And you have to heed wise counsel again. So definitely you have something to learn. Seek guidance when you need to. Spiritual healing. I do not recommend Reiki anymore. I don't believe in Reiki in the same way. Different things. I feel like it's not a good thing. I feel like it's actually a bad thing. Feel free to have a conversation about that. But I do recommend kinesiology. I can't say it. Kinesiology. No, kinesiology. I don't know. I will write that down in the description. Comment below if I don't, because I will forget. But basically, any kind of spiritual healing that's for you, what feels right. If you do like Reiki, don't be saying, I'm told you it's bad. I don't advise it myself. I did start practicing Reiki at one point, and it's my own spiritual growth has realized that that's not for me. But if it is for you, obviously seek massages. just human touch can be healing as well. Just something that's going to help you soothe your soul. But I feel like wise counsel, it's like talking. Throat chakra, I feel like you need to get things out and release things vocally. If you do some form of spirituality which involves your voice, whether it be singing, creating songs which I feel like it impacts other people. I kind of get this light song, could be something to do with a lot of bells, like light language that uses your voice. I feel like talking could be really beneficial to you on a spiritual level, for you for healing, but you're creating something. So by creating something, I feel like you are impacting others and healing. I am getting a lot of empath through this, a lot of healing throughout this whole entire reading, Sagittarius. And you are. Sagittarius is a very loving, giving sign. My daughter is a Sagittarius, and she's so loving and giving and understanding as well. And I feel like this is a part of your soul purpose here, and it's going to help you create. So whatever you create, there's going to be a ripple effect, is what I want to say to you, Sagittarius. You're creating heaven on earth, and that is a ripple that helps others. And you could literally just be singing normal songs. You could just be spreading the news. You might be a news anchor, I don't know. You might be famous. You might be somebody who reads books to children in a library. That is impactful to those little lives. That is impactful to somebody. I just feel like, again, a ripple effect of something to do with using your words and kindness. I hope that makes sense to you, Sagittarius. Best of luck and many great wishes and blessings for you for this year from me. Thank you so much. Please subscribe to my channel. It's a great energy exchange. It helps me out, and it continues me to continue this channel. It gives me that kind of like, it's worth it because people are watching. Thank you so much, guys. Watch this space. Thank you.